In recent decades, scientists have been stunned by the discovery that the initial conditions of the Big Bang were fine-tuned for the existence of intelligent life with a precision and delicacy that literally defy human comprehension. These constants and quantities fall into an extraordinarily narrow, I cannot convey to you how almost infinitesimal this is, an extraordinarily narrow range of life-permitting values. Now there are only three possible explanations of this extraordinary fine-tuning. The fine-tuning of the universe is due to either physical necessity, chance, or design. Now, it can't be due to physical necessity because, as we've seen, the constants and quantities are independent of the laws of nature. So, could the fine-tuning be due to chance? Well, the problem with this alternative is that the odds against the fine-tunings occurring by accident are so incomprehensibly great that they cannot be reasonably phased.
Now, what about this fine-tuning argument? Again, it's an argument that is based on the low probability of our kind of life. And that means not only carbon-based life, but also life with the existing physical laws as we know them. Now, even if the probability of a particular form of life was highly improbable to have occurred by natural processes, some kind of life could still be highly probable. Probably not silicon life. I agree, silicon is a poor candidate, but that's with our existing laws of physics. Another form of life might still evolve in a universe with different physical laws or different physical constants. We simply don't have the knowledge to rule that out. To say that there's only one possible form of life and only one possible set of laws of physics and only one possible set of constants is extremely narrow thinking and not at all required by anything that we know about science. Now, in this argument and other arguments about the design in the universe, Dr. Craig claims that the universe, life, are too improbable to be solely natural. However, this is a fallacious argument. To use probability to decide between two alternatives requires a comparison of the probabilities of each alternative. Dr. Craig claims these natural probabilities are exceedingly low. But he hasn't told us anything about what the supernatural probabilities are, and it's a comparison of these two that must be made. What's the probability that the laws of nature are violated? What's the probability that there's an all-good, all-powerful, all-knowing, but undetectable super being behind all of this? Complex things are common. We see natural events every moment. We've never seen a supernatural event. Furthermore, low probability events happen every day. What's the probability that my distinguished opponent exists? You have to calculate the probability that a particular sperm united with a particular egg, then multiply that by the probability that his parents met, and then repeat that calculation for his grandparents and all his ancestors going back to the beginning of life on Earth. Now, even if you stop the calculation with Adam and Eve, you're going to get a fantastically small number. To use the words that Dr. Craig has used before, improbability is multiplied by improbability until our minds are reeling in incomprehensible numbers. Well, Dr. Craig has a mind-reeling, incomprehensibly low probability, a priori probability, for existing. Yet here he is before us today. Now, modern versions of the argument from design, both the fine-tuning argument and the intelligent design argument, share this fatal flaw. They are based on the idea that natural causes can be ruled out by some arbitrary notion of low probability.
It's not entirely clear to me that the assumption behind this objection is true, namely that macroevolutionary theory is true. It's far from demonstrated. In fact, the evolution of the human genome, the odds of this are somewhere between 4 to the negative 180th power to the 110,000th power, and 4 to the negative 360th power to the 110,000th power. So if evolution did occur, it would literally be a miracle, and therefore evidence for the existence of God.